Hello, welcome to Now. This is our time to get creative. I just filled up my water glass because I'm gonna paint. Got my smock because I gotta protect my threads. Yo, there. I feel like I'm ready. I've been looking forward to this all week. I'm so excited. So I'm working on this painting. Let me move this water and I'll show you what I have going on so far. So, okay, y'all ready for this? You ready for this? Got a little situation going on. Okay, so this is, you like my little flag? Hey, Mama Jane, check it out. So this is what I've done so far. Can't catch all of it, but you can see a lot of it. See? Okay. Hope I'm not making you dizzy. So that's what I have so far. You see all my paints. Ta-da! So, hopefully that wasn't too dizzying. I'm gonna get a little comfortable here so I can situate, because this is a big piece of art, yo. Thank you. I'm excited about this. Like, I can tell that I'm really liking it when people come over and I say, hey, you want to see what I'm working on? And it's interesting because, like, so when I get really close on it, I'm like, that's really not that good. And then when I get really close on it, I know, same thing. I'm like, I really like it. Isn't that funny how that works? I can look at something right now and be like, and yay about it all at the same time. I'm looking at the same thing. Funny how that works. So, get comfortable here. How are you? How you doing, Mama? What's going on? How you feeling? I'm excited that I have heat. That's what I'm really happy about right now. It is very chilly, very it's just cold and rainy here. It's just cold and rainy. And I'm grateful for the weather and its ever changingness. And I have really decided that I like to be warm. I enjoy the sensation of warmth. I like having warm feet, warm hands. I enjoy being warm. And it's so funny. So as you can tell from what I've created so far, like I tend to use colors. Like you can look behind me and like I have color everywhere in my house. I know, Kim, chilly and cold, it's over. And Mama Jane in Indiana says chilly there, but has so you got the sunshine there. That makes a difference for me. I don't know if it's just my perception that it's like, oh, it's no, it's not sunny, it's cold. It's interesting how that works. I'm trying to see what color this is. Let's see. Neutral gray, value 5. Anyway, but I normally, whenever I create anything, I always have so many colors. I mean, I legitimately have a superhero cape that is rainbow and has my symbol / logo on it. So everything I like to do is just colorful. I think color is pretty magical. Conversation whiplash. I just found glow in the dark paint. Someone mentioned that a couple weeks ago on here. Oh snap! I'm gonna be doing something with that. I don't want to put it on this one, but oh, I just got really excited for that one outside of the container. I really, that's really exciting to me. I don't even know what to do about the excitement. Ah! I just sound like a bird. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. I like color, and I tend to use color in every time I can. I use color. It's just so powerful for my heart, and it's interesting because of what I chose to wear today and what the colors are that I want to paint with, which is interesting. Um, I'm pulling out like grays and silvers. Like some of us have that in our hair. Funny how that works. Um, and then OMG, I have a metallic black. I didn't realize I had so many blacks. There's a Mars black, a metallic black, and an ivory black. What is ivory black? It's like if black and white had a baby, but that would be gray, but it looks black. It's weird. And then let's see, titanium white. 2 of them. Okay, getting some white out. White out. I want to do 2 like kind of. Ew. So tell me how y'all are doing. What's going on? Like what's happened in your creative world? What you've been creating? Well, I kind of look at this and decide on where I want to paint. That's interesting of what I'm being called to do right now. I thought I was going to paint the little triangles, but I am wanting to do these 2 outer like things and these colors. Y'all, like legitimately, I'm wearing the color palette. Why? Why do I do that? I don't think about these things. It just happens. Okay. So yeah, what's happened? This is our time to hang out and we talk about anything we want. It's funny, I'm going to be using the blacks and white and grays and silvers during the week that I've been talking about light. It's funny. Maybe that's the point of it, right? Let's see. You see that? It's my superhero cape. It legitimately is. My friend had that made for me. Okay. I'm going to work on this piece. I wonder if I can just get this. Oh, okay. Maybe that's a thing. Burp. Nope. This way. Okay. Hit close up. My water. Go over here with that. And I'm excited. I've never painted with blacks and whites and grays. Not like the way I paint. The most I've done is with navy blue and whites and stuff. So I mean, I know it can be done. Just curious how it's going to be done. I've also realized that like I don't want to put my palette for paint on the piece of art because I don't want to just scrape it off. These are the things. I'll use a box. There we go. So, yeah. I feel like days like today that are cold and chilly like they are here are perfect for doing something creative. I love it. Okay. Well, let's see if I can do this without messing anything. Okay. I have this big piece. Hey, Rebecca, how are you? I have this big piece on this like storage bin thing to like lift it up like a table. So getting it all together here. I think that's too far. Glass of water. How are you, Rebecca? What's happening? What's going on in your world? Shaking. Y'all, we can talk about whatever's happening. I had someone last night reflect to me. I was telling them that like my hands and feet get cold, and I get like our hands and feet get cold. I don't like the extent to which my hands and feet get cold, and the extent that it takes for my hands and feet to actually warm up. I don't like it. And so I was sharing that with this woman who does acupuncture and holds ceremonies. She's a spiritual teacher as well. And she recommended I do things that build up my blood. And I'm thinking beets, spinach, things like that. And she was like, "Do you eat animals? Do you eat meat?" And I was like, "No, I don't." And she was like, "Well, it's a way to build up the blood, and you build up the blood, then you stay warmer, you have more of that movement." And I was in so much resistance, and I was like, "Well, I'll sit with that." So I haven't eaten an animal since this conversation last night, and I'm also really curious because next time I just go into meditation and want to check in with my body and ask my body, like, does this resonate, and actually sit in the feeling of like, what would it feel like to eat it and all that. So I'm curious, just curious, like all the changes that are coming up for myself. Um, Weird, yo. This ivory black, it looks like black. I don't get it. Rebecca says she's okay. Yay! Struggling with post concussion symptoms, so staying home today. Sorry you're late. You're not late. You're perfectly on time. Everything's on time. It's now. It's now o'clock. You cannot be late. That's my belief system anyway. So just heads up on that. All right, so I'm using right now some titanium white, some neutral gray value 5, and something called ivory black. I really don't understand what ivory black is. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really get that. Because it looks black, like it legitimately looks black. Rebecca, I have a friend who had been in a car accident, and they had a bad concussion, and it took them a lot, long. Like, I didn't know anything about it, so I don't have like a timeline to like measure it with or like compare it to. But that recovery is a thing. Like, it takes a minute, like, for real. Mama Jane Sharon, let's see, still working daily on staying out of a deep slump and doing better each day. How's that going? Like, I feel like that's like a concussion. That sometimes we go through these things and it's like it's a slump. It's like, I can't do this thing. Either my body can't do it, or my heart's not in it. I'm just down, or my brain isn't in it. Like, I have an injury. And it's like, we want to do these things, and it's like, I'm just like in this slump. Yeah, Rebecca said the brain, right? It's your main computer. It really is. It's the processor of so much data. I'm so curious. So, because a concussion is the brain, right? The computer, it's the processor of data. And I teach like heart mind coherence, like how to have the heart and mind communicate together so that we still like have clear choices and decision making skills and tap into a deeper sense of a knowing. So I'm curious what studies have been done around heart mind coherence and concussions. It's something you could probably just play with. Anyway, these were my thoughts go. When I'm in creative mode, bing. Okay, I've never done this, and I think I'm hesitating because of what I am called to do right now. And there's a big part of me that's like, I'm afraid. I've never painted with so much black. Like, I don't know if I have any black in any art that I've ever painted. And I'm getting ready to put a whole bunch on a really big part. I'm like, You're as curious as I am, right? I know. I'm really curious about that. Like, yeah, because if I can't, like, so many times we're taught, like everything is cerebral, like, well, think it out. And it's like, well, what if we were growing into a reality where we were feeling it out? I'm doing it. Oh God, I just committed. I committed. I'm committed. Wow, that is black is a thing to paint with. Thank you for your support, Rebecca. Do it. Ah. And kind of going to what Mama Jane said, being in a slump after going through some really hard stuff. Like how can we get through that? These slumps, these times of challenge. I mean, we know we're getting better each day. I think that's a huge way to get through a challenge. Y'all are seeing this. Y'all are watching. You're witnessing me doing something that's so out of my comfort zone right now. Thank you for witnessing. I have to say that the concussion is a blessing in disguise. It's helped Rebecca kind of reset her mind, if that makes sense. Yes, yes, it does. It makes big sense. And think about this, right? Talk about heart mind coherence because a lot of times, like, yeah, I'm just going to talk about both the heart and the mind in relation to what you're sharing. So she says, listen, so my emotional journey has really taken off since the concussion. Yes. Um, with concussions, there is this like reset type of thing. Um, you're like relearning or you're learning new ways to kind of like be um, still in the mind. Um, it's like don't overwork it, don't overwork your mind. And I feel like a lot of times people, we humans, are so in our head that sometimes we get opportunities, right? Gifts in disguise to tell the mind to shut up and work on the other parts of the whole that I am. And a lot of times we like we'll keep getting those messages, right? Like stop thinking about it, stop thinking about it, but we don't like listen. And so then like something silly happens and it's like, oh look, I have a concussion. Or I was in an accident, or I was running away from my problems and all of a sudden I broke my leg. Yes, yes. Rebecca says there's a sensitive radar that goes off when I'm getting overwhelmed. Yeah, yo, legit. Like concussions are a thing, like a big one, a big thing. Um, but like I feel like it's the time where it's like, okay, well, I guess I get to learn how to be with my stillness in my mind, right? Create stillness in the mind because that's what helps concussions heal. But then when we allow our mind to be still, you know what comes up? Every emotional everything ever that's been unprocessed. Isn't that funny how that works? So like I feel like if someone gets a concussion, it's like prime time USA to heal. Like heal traumas and um, really, I mean it's all trauma if you think about it. I hope you all see that I'm adding gray to this because I got the layer of black on there and I don't know, but I'm ready to put a bunch of gray on this. Oh, oh. Let's see here. I know you can't really see exactly what I'm doing, but I'm working my way to where you can. I'm like making it's weird. It's like I'm making this like line situation. Guess I'm gonna go this way. This way. This is interesting. The things that I do with things. Um, Rebecca says, I guess God had enough of my stubbornness and was like, stop, listen. Right? Oh, thank you. You like what I'm doing with it. I've added like plops of gray, and then I'm taking the same brush and just kind of connecting it with almost like a road, a path, and it's like a really light little. It's almost like a vibrational stroke that I'm doing. It's like I'm like. I'm sure that a trained artist. Notice how I was going to say a real artist. That was messed up. That a trained artist would be like, this girl. But it's about creativity and creative expression. Um, but yeah, that how you said how God was like, you being stubborn, homie. Here, stop, listen. That's what happens. Like that's seriously what happens. I think in our life. It's like we'll hit rock bottom in ways that we didn't even know we could. And it happens with our health, it happens with our heart. It's like, I didn't think I could hurt anymore. And then that happened. Oh, God, that sucks. But then every time something happens where it's like, I didn't think I could hurt anymore. It's like, but every time I hurt more, then I end up like loving more. I end up healing more. I end up like mooring with my life, you know? And it doesn't, and not to like minimize anyone's hurt, but man, I know my personal life experience shifts when I'm in hurt, when I let myself experience it and not get mad at me for like creating it, you know? That is the silver. It is the silver lining. Okay, I've got gray and black going on here. And I think I'm going to add some white. Cleaning off my brush. You know what sucks? This is such a conversation whiplash. So I don't know about y'all, but I will wear a pair of jeans like multiple times before I wash them. And you know what really sucks is when you have your jeans on day one and you drop something on it, like avocado, or whatever. Man, that sucks. These are the things in life that really sucks. When you're wearing your jeans on day one and you spill food on yourself. Ugh. You know what else sucks is when you just wash your hair and then you go out and it like rains on it, or you just washed your hair and then you go somewhere and then like people are smoking cigarettes and then it like sticks in your hair, or like whatever. Like I don't like those things. The end. I just wanted to share that with y'all. Now I'm ready for this titanium white action. Let's see what it does when I mix it with black and gray. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I know everybody does smoke near me, but I don't mind asking people to not. Oh, you are quitting? How's that going? When I quit smoking cigarettes, oh, first of all, I quit smoking cigarettes so many times before I quit. I was so good at quitting, and I was even better at starting back up. I was really consistent. Good stuff. For real. But for real, I really was really good at it. it was like smoking cigarettes is just one of those things that like it sucks. It sucks. Smoking cigarettes sucks because it feels so good and bad at the same time. You know? Yeah, exactly. Um, Rebecca says that I think my cigarette addiction was more emotional. For sure. Yeah. It always is. It's a habit, you know? Um, and then it is going to be easier this time. You know, it's interesting as I kind of tap into my lived experience in curiosity and asking myself like, why I wonder why I did that. You know, like why did I do that? Why did I do that to myself? And what pain was I creating and what pain was I trying to soothe in like maybe an unhealthy way? And when I look back at when I smoked cigarettes on a regular basis, um, I thought about like, okay, well, the smoking is it's all the heart. It's all the heart chakra. It's our heart energy center. Our energy center of that space governs and has a relationship with our physical heart, our lungs, our shoulders, down our arms and our fingers and our hands. And so when I think about like when I started smoking cigarettes, that was a time in my life that I felt very alone. Um, it was just, yeah, I felt very alone at that time. And so cigarettes became a habit for me to feel and soothe a lot of heart pain. I didn't know that at the time. I was like 14. You know, like I didn't have that awareness or even knowledge about energy centers in the body and subconscious and just all that. But so then I think about yes, Rebecca says I think it was a form of self-harm punishment for her. Yeah, exactly. And we will do those self-harm punishment things and not even know it. And then we get so accustomed to that, to the self-harm, to the punishment aspect that well, we don't even know like how to stop. But then it becomes this habit, you know, and so then it becomes just harder to break the habit than it is to heal the original wound in the first place, you know. But I guess they kind of go hand in hand when I think about it, like for me anyway. The more I've healed like underlying traumas and wounds and stuff, like that's when my behaviors go a lot more into like self-love behaviors, which means like that's when I really stopped drinking alcohol was when I healed a lot of my stuff. And it's funny because like I'm not done healing either. Like I just want to put that little disclaimer out that I'm not done. I don't think I want to be done either. Like I like I can accept myself and love where I am and always see that there's space for me to grow and expand and like love me more. And to me that's what healing is. It's facilitating a positive change in self and others. And positive changes usually come in the form of like love and acceptance and some compassion. And by some compassion, I mean a healthy dose of it, yo. Big dose of it. I've never painted with these colors before, y'all. I am really just grooving on it. I am so excited because I noticed that, like, with this yellow and orange situation that I painted last week, it's like the longer it sits, and I know this isn't real, but I feel like the longer it sits, the more like depth it has. Maybe it's the longer I sit with it, the more depth I see. Now that's a message right there. Yes, yes, yes. Rebecca's like, and Piran is love. Yes, for real though. But for real though. One of the things that when I've quit any um, when I've quit any unhealthy relationship, so that could be with cigarettes, alcohol, a partner, whatever. Like, it's almost like there's this time where I get to be with just my thoughts, just my mind, clear that out, and um, like I really got to get really creative on um, making new habits because I can't just like I'm just going to quit this habit and then not replace it, I guess, with something else because then that can't handle that empty space, that like dead zone. It's too hard for me. I can't do it. I can't do it. So that's where creativity has really come in for me to like help me out through addictions of any sort, um, unhealthy relationships, getting through that discomfort of the challenge with it, the grief of it. Um, and that's another thing, going back to like grief. Looks like I'm stirring a baby cauldron. Um, I thought that was way funnier. Than I probably should have. Anyway, um, it's like grief, like allowing myself to grieve like the loss of a relationship, for example, whether it was through choice or death or moving or whatever. Um, like I kind of got to fill my time in a way that speeds up healing. And I have found to speed up healing, um, I can do something creative for real. If we do something creative, we will speed up our healing process. How's that for some really cool information? I think I think so anyway. Mama Jane says, "You feel free and clear when you break and stop a habit." Right. But I feel like I have to replace it. And I could be replacing it with reading a book, with writing, dancing, basically a new relationship. And if I'm really honest, that new relationship that I replaced the old relationship with of the habit that I broke, if I replace that new relationship with the relationship with myself, doing stuff that I like to do, that lights me up, or that expands my mind or my heart or my creative expression or my purpose. That's the nugget right there. I'm like moving, I'm completely shifting sides because I want that part to be the black and the grays. And then I want this way, like the opposite side. I'm going to read what you said just a second, Rebecca. Just moving everything. This is not the most easy transition because of that. Everything's good. Everything is good. I promise. Let's see. Rebecca says, I now do Lego building. Ooh, that sounds like fun. Art creations, coin collections, etc. I started finding what I really like doing because of the solitary peace with myself, right? I talked about this in Body, Mind, Spirit this morning. Like, if I can't, like, it's all about me. Like, it's the relationship with me. If I can't be alone with me, y'all, life is going to suck. Life is not only going to suck for me, but anyone else that I try to be in a relationship with. Check this out. This is the black and the grays that I just did. It's all shiny. We'll see how it continues to morph. Morph. Okay. This is the section that I want to do right here. Sorry, there's a wee bit of a glare. A wee bit of a glare. Sorry. I'm aware. I'm aware of the glare. Mon frère. Aw, thanks y'all for the compliments. I appreciate it immensely. Okay. Whee! Okay. Get my palette back out. My little tray box that I had it sitting on. This one's gonna take me a minute. I don't know. I think I might be fast. Who knows? Anyway. We're just gonna lift this up a moment. But that was a big hand shot. You ever do stuff and you realize that like, well, that was a little bit of a goobery thing. I used to do stuff like that and I would feel that goober experience. And then I would like really judge myself and I would be like, instead of being like, oh, goober, and actually feel like okay and happy and like loving and kind about it, I would be such a turd to myself. I would be such an ass. I'd be like, oh, idiot. Why did you just do that? They're going to see your hand or whatever. I don't know. But like, I used to be so hard on myself. And even when like I wasn't even around people, I would be hard on myself. For example, I would say trip. I would trip. And I like how you said goobery. Thanks. Like I would say trip, or like I would be walking in the house and I would just stumble and trip. I feel like I've got a bruise. I don't. Anyway, I would trip, and I would immediately have this thought of, stupid. Why didn't you see that? Y'all ever do that? Where you like, Mama Jane says, I think we all go through that. Like I would be an asshole to myself, basically. Like legit, I would just be a jerk. Like I would do something and I'd be like, oh, stupid. And I would call myself names. And then I would be in relationships where my partner would call me names. And then I would feel so bad. And then I would stay with them because I'm like, well, I guess they're telling the truth. I guess I am stupid or whatever. Like, the way we treat ourselves, even in the privacy of our own mind, is a really powerful thing to realize and witness, and then to maybe change or alter or embrace based on our decision. Let's see. Rebecca says, my gooberish acts have multiplied, working hard on stopping the name calling. Right? Why do we do that? It's like, I know why we do it. It's just because we've been conditioned and programmed that we have to be perfect, or an image of perfection based on whatever belief system it was created in the first place. But like, name calling ourselves, like I stopped doing it a long time ago. Well, I feel like it's a long time ago. I don't know how long it's been. But like, and then I noticed after I stopped name calling myself, I was still name calling others. And it would come out in the form of, like, in this example, like I would be driving and someone would cut me off and like a name would come out really fast. And it was never, oh, sweetie, you just cut me off. It was never like that. It was more like, Expletive. Expletive. Mama Jane says if we allow it, relationships can destroy us emotionally and mentally. Oh yeah, any relationships can destroy us, and I feel like that is such big truth. Um, because it's the relationship with each other and ourselves. Like the relationships I've ever had with anyone, now that I like look back on them, they were just mirroring to me the way I felt about me. Hello, hard pill to swallow. But it's true. It's really true, actually. Ooh, yeah, I got this layer of black on here. Doo-doo. It's so shiny. Like, it's like reflecting, but you can, the little, oh, I can't move that. The little let's get creative word situation, because that would be cool if I could. But because you can see, it's black. And I only have a mouth with my tiny cauldron. Yes, as they say, live and learn. Right? I don't know about y'all, but I am learning how to be with me differently every day. Like for real. I show up differently every day. I'm not the same person today as I was yesterday. So I can't treat myself exactly the same today as I did yesterday because I'm kind of dealing with a whole other person. Like maybe today I'm just tired, or maybe today I just want some love and attention. you know? Maybe today I just want to be left the hell alone. I got to make sure that like I'm treating myself in a now moment, you know? Don't you love that though? Rebecca says, don't you love what? The living and learning part? Oh yeah, the learning about self. I'm telling you, we will never be done learning about ourselves. How's that for a situation? We're never done. We are infinite in our experiences. And we have so much information to go through and look at and to play with and discover about ourselves. Like, yeah, Mama Jane says that never stops. Learning about yourself, getting along with yourself, and loving yourself. It never does stop. I mean, it can stop. That's the choice, right? I guess that's what I talked about in Body, Mind, Spirit at some point, was that it's choice. Um, but yeah, like we don't ever finish that. We don't have to finish it. And if we can be really easy with ourselves and be like, oh my God, I'm never going to be done learning about myself, right? Getting along with me. And then it's like, think about this relationship with ourselves. Like, if you're in a partnership, say you and your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, your lover, whatever. Um, what if every day they just said the same thing to you every day? And even if it's like nice and loving, wow, you're so pretty. You're so pretty. You're so pretty. Eventually you're going to be like, I'm bored with this. Like, can you say something new, something different? Like, it almost like loses its value, its meaning. It just kind of starts to fall flat. Not saying that they don't mean it, and it gets boring. It's like creativity, you got to do something new all the time. And what if we looked at ourselves in that same way? Like, stop. Like, how long have we been telling ourselves that we're not good enough, or that we're broken, or that we're ugly or stupid, or whatever? I don't know, whatever it is that we've been telling ourselves for so long. Like, at what point are we just not going to get tired of it and be like, F this noise. I want to have a different relationship with me. I want to hear new things come from me. I want to create a new conversation, a new relationship with myself. I don't know what it looks like, but I'm going to be in this space of discovery, learning it, reading about other people or spiritual texts or just other teachers and see how they've learned and moved through it. Maybe I can apply some of that shit to myself. I don't know. But like, that to me sounds like such a more fun, such a. I threw the paintbrush on the floor. Oh, look, and you know how, like, earlier I was talking about wearing clean jeans and getting avocado on it? Well, even when your jeans aren't clean and you get paint on it, that's a whole nother level. Grateful for hardwood floors. I think I got it. Came up. Yay! Back to the painting board. Maybe that meant that I was done with the gray. Stop trying to use the gray, Jane. You're done with the gray. You're done with the gray. Stop using the gray. You're done with it. You're about to move on to the white color that you've chosen for this next portion called your artwork. So that's the way I kind of talk to my food too whenever I'm cooking. I'm like, carrots, now is your time on the chopping block. I really do. That's another. This is a conversation with Flash, but man, being in new relationships, it's like so fun because you're always in this like discovery place, and then there's this part of me that's like, oh god, this person gets to now know that like I talk to things like inanimate objects like they're real, and I like humanize and personify stuff and like give life to things that I feel like are life. I just acknowledge it, like the life of a green bean before I cut the little tip off. And I'm like, I just don't want to check on you. Before I put them in the skillet or whatever, I'm like, are you ready for the heat? You know, like whatever. And then I'm like, when I've been in partnership, like they don't mind, like whatever. They're like, it's Jane. Hopefully you too, Rebecca, right? Like if you're like me in that regard, like hopefully your partners have been like, yeah, it's her, she cool. And there's always this time when they don't know me and they're getting to know me, and then they start to see these things like, oh, homegirl just talked to that carrot for a really long time before she chopped it up. And I'm always like, I hope I don't know, I don't want to say I always, but I have this like little moment where I'm like, oh, they're gonna think I'm bonkers. They legit are gonna be like, oh, Jane doesn't have all of her marbles. She can't even lose them. Um, but I know that that's just it's a projection of old judgments on myself. Not funny. Awareness. I do that though. Like I'll be like, my last relationship was so good. No one's gonna love me like that again. Until I get in the next relationship and they love me even more. Because between each relationship, what do? I get in a deeper relationship with myself. When I get in a deeper relationship with myself, I can't not see me more and love me more and create more and have more fun and discovery and learning and all that. So I just become a more version of me so that whoever I then meet loves, they have more of me to love. So if you watch this and you've ever dated me, trust that everyone I've ever dated after you was way more fun. Well, except that one time. You know who you are. Just kidding. But not really. cracking myself up over here. Oh. But it is true though, yo, but for real, like every relationship, I always get more out of it because I'm so committed to learning me more and being in relationship with me more and discovery about me more, me more, me more. So much so that like whoever I'm with is going to reflect these things back and have more of me, parts of me that maybe they loved me before. Like maybe other people have loved these parts of me before, but if I didn't discover them and know about them, then no matter how much they loved me, I wouldn't have been able to feel it anyway. Isn't that funny? Ha ha ha. Funny. Mama Jane. Laughter's so good for the soul. It really is. I have been intending, like having the intention of having more laughter in my life. And you know what? Ooh, I'm like elbowing shit. If I want more laughter in my life, that means I have to laugh more. And I really do crack myself up. I crack myself up when I have imaginary conversations. I'm glad you all are here in real life because you're actually having a real conversation with me. Thank you. I am using, okay, so I have put the layer of black on and then I'm putting white on. I put gray on it as well, and I did them instead of bloop bloop bloops and then squiggle bigger bigger biggers. This one I did plop, like line plops, and then I made little lines around them, and now I'm doing the same with the white. And I'll show you in just a moment. In a moment. Isn't that funny? Like they say that like when we're going through a hard time, like go on the internet and find videos of something funny, you know, like something that actually makes you just laugh. And what's really funny is that the things that really make me laugh when it comes to like that, it's like puppies and babies. Like and it's because they're just like fumbling all over themselves. You know. You said it right there at the very moment. like like little babies aren't like, oh my god, my legs are so fat. God, we love it when like babies have like little chunky legs and we just want to love on the baby. And like, could you imagine if we like legitimately loved ourselves that much? I have a friend that just had a baby and I get to see them a few times a week and it just I'm watching this baby grow and this baby is getting like more chubby every day and it's adorable. The baby's adorable. And like and I'm like, what a lesson for me because the way I talk to this baby, it's like, oh my god, your legs are so chubby. I just want to eat them and look at your little belly and you're just so fat. And I'm like, why don't we talk to ourselves that way? Could you imagine if we like looked at our thighs and we're like, I love you, look at all those little barrels, you were just so cute. Gobble, 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 gobble. If we did, then they would have to stop airbrushing all the magazines and all the things on the media stuff. Then we wouldn't be able to support all of the plastic surgeons and big pharma with our depression and anxiety for not feeling like we're enough. It's amazing where love and acceptance really changes the whole system that we live in. Drop mic. Just kidding. I don't want to drop my paintbrush. I already did that. I am really enjoying this black and white painting color situation. Um, I have so many friends in my life that are artists, like professional artists, and and I love what they do. Like I love that they can. I know this is like so conversational flash, but like they create just these images that are just like, whoa, how did you even do that? And like I cannot paint a like a thing. Like if you said, Jane, paint a banana, I would paint it and you would be like, is that a giant yellow penis? Like what is that? And I'd be like, the banana. But what I do enjoy doing is painting with the paint, and that's it. I am painting with the paint. Like I am just seeing like what does this movement do, and oh, look how these colors blend together, and some made one color, and ooh, this is so cool. Like I'm not trying to have a result. Rebecca's like, let's do still life. Go for it. I support you 110%. I don't enjoy it because it's too still. I thank you for saying that because I'm like bringing awareness to this about myself. I like things that look like it has movement to it. I enjoy that. Oh yeah. Fine. Fine then. Oh man, I'm getting a tempting. I'm getting a tempting. Oh God. It's either y'all. This is either going to be really good or really not, and I know that I'm coming up on the bottom of the hour. You know what I mean? So I'll show you what I did, and I'll tell you what I'm thinking about doing. Okay. You ready for this? Okay. So I would. Okay. So this is what I've done. I need to move this little glass of water, otherwise I'm not so brilliant. Okay. So I just did that. It's a big one. See? Boop. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is take another paintbrush because I put a lot of paint on. It's very thick. Y'all are liking it? I'm thinking about taking a little paintbrush, a itty bitty, people, and yeah. Oh God, I'm doing it. I'm committing to doing something. So I'm just gonna take this and basically just start making designs in this thick paint that I've put on here. Okay. We're gonna see what happens. I don't even know. Oh yeah. I wanted to give it like a direction. We talked about movement. I want it to have a direction and go that way. Okay, there we go. Ooh, I wonder if I can make it go this way too. I'm noticing I have to be really careful, otherwise it turns into just a bunch of gray. Interesting. Do I have any red on there? On this? No, not on this part. On this part, it's just black and gray paint and white paint. And yeah, that's it. I have red on the painting as a whole, yes. I have it in the top part. Ooh, it looks like stormy waters. Ooh, yeah. Here we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. I'll show you. Okay. So that is what I did. Ready? Let me see if I can move it a little bit. Okay. So yeah, I just added some squigglies with a little paintbrush. Ta-da! So now I have the whole thing, which is not done yet. And then I'll hop off. But check it out, okay? It's a big one. Okay, so I've got that over there, which I just did, the first one. And then all of this. Woo! And then, oh, look. Okay, that's a pretty good shot. I'm holding it up in a weird way. But you can kind of see. Oh, that's my arm. So, yeah, that. Boop. Okay. So, thanks. Thanks for like hanging out and like having conversation and sharing and healing and getting to know parts of you. And I'm talking to myself here too. Like, thanks for like learning parts of you and discovering parts of you and expanding parts of you and creating new parts of you through all this discovery and healing that you're going through. So thank you and keep creating. So do something creative, y'all. Okay, I love you. I will see you all so soon. Okay. Sorry, I'm wobbling, but I moved the thing that my computer was sitting on. Wobbles. Okay, and keep laughing. Okay, bye, y'all.